Oh, hello. I don't know what day it is. Oh, hello. It's Thursday, the 6th of January, and we are at Lookout Quay. Hello, welcome back to Richard Vlogs Disney. My name's Richard. I'm at Disney Vlogs. Obviously, Roberta's in bed because it's silly early, and I didn't actually mean to get up to do this, but then I was awake anyway, so I thought, why not? It is 7 AM, welcome to 7 AM in the Bahamas. I didn't intend to do this, but then I was just awake anyway, and I thought, well, how many more times are we going to pull into Lookout Quay for the first time? Or how many times are we going to pull into Lookout Quay, because we don't know when we'll next be back here. So I thought, let's come and have a look. Let me spin you around, show you what we can see. So that is the infamous Lookout Quay dock. It is a long walk. There is a long walk to get to the main island, which is over there. Now, unlike Castaway, this is not an island on its own as such, because if you keep going, you can see that actually this island goes for a really long way. This is the island of Eleuthera in the Bahamas, and Lookout Quay at Lighthouse Point is just a very small part of that. Eleuthera is one of the bigger islands of the Bahamas, and Disney has just this small little tip, and you might be able to see a ship just beginning to appear out the back there. That's the Carnival Magic, because they have an island along this coastline as well, so it's not an island, it's part of an island. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, thank you very much, welcome, I do really appreciate it. If Disney vlogs, Disney Cruise Line vlogs, Disney Parks vlogs, Universal Studios vlogs are something that you enjoy, then maybe consider hitting that subscribe button, because that's really all that this channel is. And if this isn't your first time clicking on this video, well, welcome back. Thank you for not allowing me to annoy you so much to drive you away. Let's have a look on this side. Oh wow, look at that, that's stage lighting. Let's have a look on this side of the ship, just because, I mean, that's just giving beautiful sunrise. I really want this animation as my screensaver, and Disney, I don't know why you don't do that, because it's brilliant. Maybe include it in a Disney Plus subscription or something. While we walk to the very back of the ship to have another look, let's walk and talk. We'll do the West Wing. I'm surprised by the number of people. I don't think this is the first time on the Treasure. Is this the 7th? Let me do the maths in my head, and by in my head I mean let me just figure that out on my phone. I was right with 7th, so this is the 7th cruise outside of like media cruises and stuff. But I've seen people with Disney Treasure Maiden Voyage t-shirts on, which means they would have been on the Maiden Voyage 6 weeks before this one and then come again to get that life. Anyway. There is the Carnival Magic. We can see it now as we come really to the very back of the ship. It does give Lighthouse slightly less of a the same vibe as Castaway. Like, you could go to Castaway, and even though the nearest island is only a few miles away, you don't really pay any attention to it, and you could feel like you are in the absolute middle of nowhere. Whereas here, you're like, oh, there's a ship there. But I am excited to get off and have a look. I had no plans to come here. If you are watching a vlog for the first time, we were supposed to go to Puerto Rico yesterday. That was cancelled the day before the cruise started, and this was the alternative that was given to us. So we had no plans to come here. I had no plans to book any cruises that came here. So I guess I should just use it as a good opportunity to have a look around. So when you they are down waiting for our ropes. So once we put alongside, they should, let's say, shot out to the dockside, and we can be tied off. It is cool though to see another ship. I always like seeing other ships at sea, and because of the itinerary of this cruise, once the first night was over, I haven't seen another cruise ship since, because we went a long way and it's a much less busy sea route than cruises around the Bahamas, where you just see ships everywhere. So it's cool to see another ship. Now, our plan is not to rush off, because I feel like there will be people rushing off. We plan to be on the ship till quite late in the day, I think. Not late in the day, but later than everyone else. We're going to use the morning as an opportunity to explore and have the ship a bit more to ourselves. Probably ride the Aqua Mouse and just relax. We don't want to fight the people like running down the pier. We're just here to explore. We're not sit on beach all day kind of people, which I think is mostly the kind of vibe of Lookout Cay. It's more of a beachy, sit on a beach, find a nice chair, don't move all day. If you heard that bang then, that would be our ropes being shot out. The ship has turned enough that now you can see the sunrise and the island in the same shot, and that's really nice. I'm hoping this cloud goes away though. I think it will, but I'm hoping this goes away. There we go. There goes the ropes. Didn't quite catch the beginning, but a bit of Star Wars, I guess, to tell them that we're here. Ignoring Lookout Cay for a moment, this little bit of the ship's layout still really bugs me. I'm going to do a full review style video that will probably be up after the series. I've never done review style videos before, but I wanted to give it a go, so hopefully there'll be one for this and one for Coronado, depending on if I actually filmed enough stuff. So I might know by the time I film this, so if I do, I'll let you know somewhere on the screen. But yeah, this little bit still really bugs me. I think the use of this space here is not great, and as much as the Treasure is making a strong play for my favourite ship in the fleet, the layout is still odd. However, if you would like more opinions like that, you know, that kind of cutting insight, then watch the review when it comes out. So it definitely feels like we've fully arrived now. And they're expected to give us the all ashore at 9 AM, so that's another hour and a half. So it gives you an idea of how long it takes them to get everything off the ship, all of the provisions and food and stuff that they're going to take over there, and then let us off. It's a little bit longer than the Castaway, so it seems like, again, I don't know if it's just because we're on a weird itinerary because we weren't supposed to come here, but maybe like 9 o'clock is the time that they sort of let you off, so consider that maybe you don't have to be up at like arrival time to snag that first spot. It has gone 9 o'clock and there go, I mean, they're not runners, they're not running, but the early risers onto the island. First ones look like they're just about making it to the tram stop now. For those with mobility issues or requiring additional assistance, there is transportation that will take you down. However, it does say in the Navigator app that there could be waits of up to an hour. I just quickly ran down to the Deck 5 promenade because Carnival Magic is leaving. Excuse my haggard appearance, I just got out of the shower. Yeah, the Carnival Magic is leaving. I'm not sure why, it's definitely supposed to be here. But evidently something... Oh wait, no, that's another... What? So there was this Carnival ship, and there's now this Carnival ship. What? One second, this calls for a cruise mapper investigation, one moment. Okay, so that's not the Carnival Magic, that is the Carnival Pride. Is that the one that's been here all day? I have no idea what that's doing here. But also, lol, I've been on that ship. Hello, Carnival Pride. Very random to see you. But in the year 2000, we took a pre-maiden voyage test cruise on the Carnival Pride. Sailed out of Miami for 7 nights in the Western Caribbean. Okay, now I understand. I've been looking at the Carnival Pride's itinerary. I don't even know if it's going to make it into the vlog. Stupid, geeky cruise stuff. But it's supposed to be at an island down there. So I wonder if they either turned up at the wrong island. Wow, look at that. Sorry, just some jet skiing going on. Anyway, Carnival Pride supposed to be at an island just down there. So I wonder if they're just sailing past and I've mistaken them for the other ship that was already down there. Who knows, but that's enough about Carnival Cruise Line itinerary potential problems. There is. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Probably the calmest I've ever seen it in Marceline for breakfast, and half of it's closed. Marceline is empty, the pool deck is empty, Cove is empty. Just shows you can make use of some of the facilities of the ship if you are willing to forgo a bit of time on some of the islands. So we're gonna have a coffee now and then we're gonna ride the Aquamouse. Tonight is pirate night, so we have new bandanas. These are much larger than the old ones. As Roberta just said, a new bandana for our dog. We did our ride of the Aquamouse. We spent about 25 minutes in the quiet Cove pool, but it is 11:30 now, so it is time to go and explore this new island. And welcome to the beginning of the pier. It is a long way. It looks even worse from down here. Still get those good ship views though. Can't quite get to the front or the back though. It's not too bad today. It's not the hottest day and there is a nice breeze. But I do imagine in the height of summer, if you are here in like July and it's 90 plus degrees, this would be not particularly enjoyable. It is a great place to get views of the ship though, I'll give it that. So that's basically the end of the walk. We're pretty much there now, but that took about 10 minutes. So Roberta started a stopwatch as we got off and you said we were at what?
We were at 10 minutes.
10 minutes 42 seconds. So yeah, 10 to 15 minute walk. Like, we're not the slowest walkers in the world, but we don't completely pace. Didn't completely pace it either. So yeah, 10 to 15 minutes I think is probably about right. We get our first look at one of the beaches here. I need to get to a map because I have no idea what anything is, where anything is. The Treasure did come here in one of its media preview cruises, but I'm pretty sure this is its first visit with paying passengers, even though it wasn't obviously supposed to be here. So it's kind of cool being on the first time a ship came to a place. But like I said, we weren't supposed to come, so we wouldn't know when we booked it. And we have made it to the main entrance. So this is our entrance into the Disney part of the island. We've made it into the main, or the beginning plaza before the tram. There's a bar here, the place that you check in, of course, for any excursions, and then a little merchandise cart, which I'm sure we're going to go and have a look at now. There's pins. Yeah, that one is nice. I like that one. Yeah, those are also very cool. Found a map, and this really does show quite how little of this area they have developed. As far as I'm aware, there are future plans for this space down here, but as of now, we have this beach, which is the Mabrika Cove Cabanas beach, and then otherwise everything is over this side. And then we have Serenity Bay, which is at the top up here, number 9. So it's the whole beach. It's not completely separate like at Castaway, but there's just a point, I guess, where it becomes adult only. But anyway, let's go get on a tram. There's Mabrika on this fine day by the aqua-coloured sea. Welcome to a Bohemian paradise, Disney Lookout Key. And there's these cute animals here on this rock. How nice is that? You can definitely tell that this is a newer place than Castaway because all of the trees are still kind of being propped up and held up. So they're evidently very newly planted. I think it's easy to forget that Castaway has been there for a very long time, 26 years now. And it feels like it's been there forever, but it did take a long time for it to get that feeling as well. And I've shown these pictures before on previous vlogs, but I'll put some pictures up now of Castaway 2 years after it opened, and you can see that it looks exactly the same, right? The trees look young, they don't look like they belong there yet because they haven't fully grown in, and it's going to take time here to be the same.
There's so much to know about this place that I brought along a couple of young friends to help me out. Or our families. That's right.
We have made it to the end of the tram ride. It's a bit longer than the one at Castaway. You can go in Disney Tings and see what tings they got. Of course, there's just a lot of Lookout Key merchandise, including this cup that's $24.99. It's very nice. Roberta, she just knows me. She picked this up. I love it. This is a Lookout Key quarter zip. This is really nice. There's a Lookout Key corksicle. There is corksicle. That's very nice. It's also quite large. That one is $49.99. That is the Junkanoo celebration. That's a nice touch actually. It's very loud, if you couldn't hear. It feels like a more authentic Bohemian cultural experience as opposed to Castaway, where it's very Disney bubble kind of thing. We've come to the Goombay Cultural Centre because there's lots of information here about Junkanoo and just the area in general. So we have these nice art pieces on the wall, and they have lots of information in them as well. Also has information about like the seabirds that live around here. And this leads directly down onto one of the beaches, and the colour of that water is beyond describable. There's these like art displays around for each of the characters. This is of course the Donald one. Here we have the Junkanoo sculpture for Pluto. Like I said, these are all around, so there's one for Pluto, Donald, Minnie, Mickey, Goofy. One thing I'll say, and it's something that I saw in a review by Jake from Bright Sun Films about Lighthouse Point, he came last year, is a lot of the structures are very flat. If you go back and look at the artwork for, you know, the concept art for this, there was a lot of depth to the artwork and the buildings, and by depth I mean layers. It's hard to explain, but I'll try and put some examples up. It feels a little bit, I want to say cheap, maybe. I'm not saying that for sure yet, but we'll keep looking. So this appears to be the main family beach, and again the colour of this water is spectacular. There is a snorkel rental here by the beach, if that's something you want to do on your day here. There's a lot of these raised walkways sort of all over the island. I can only assume that that's to keep these areas free from, you know, the natural habitat untouched down there. Like a lot of the island around where the facilities are is this sort of mangrove and palm area, and I assume that they've just raised up the walkways to prevent themselves from having to demolish a lot of this. Like, some of what I mean about the flatness of the buildings is if you look at this shade structure here, it's metal, it's like steel with like printed tarpaulin style roof. And while shade is of course important, and it's good that there is a lot of it because there are a lot of these structures, it's just very different from the concept art originally. Again, I'll try and put some up on the screen for you to compare. So having a look at where we are now, spin you around, show you, back to the map. So we are there, we got off the tram here at B, so we have kind of walked through here. We walked past, this is True 2 barbecue. We're walking up to the Serenity Bay area, which is this way, but you do have this whole area down this way which you need to go and have a look at. And then this yellow line is like a nature trail, and that will take you down to the lighthouse. So I'm not sure how walkable that is, but I guess we'll find out. These are the Serenity Bay cabanas. These are available for rent. Good luck getting one. They are close to impossible unless you are in a concierge level room, and you can book them much further in advance than everyone else, or if you are Pearl or Platinum status. Quite the pricey thing to book out, but if there is a lot of you, a large party, it can be a nice thing to do. Sand here is pink sand. It's got a bit of a pink hue to it. I will also say it's much easier to walk on than the Serenity Bay at Castaway. The water is cold, very cold, very cold. It may be the Bahamas,
but it is also February. So drink, beach, drink, another drink. This will do. This will do. We had our sit on the beach, we had our drinks, we had our lunch at the Serenity Bay barbecue. We're gonna walk now back towards the main area, probably buy some stuff, spend too much money in the shop, but then walk towards the other end of the island, down on the family beach. Have a look and see how long it maybe takes to do the nature walk. It is 2 o'clock, so we have just over 2 hours. And it did say to make sure you leave time to get the tram back and then obviously walk the pier, because I don't know about you, but I don't fancy running it. Here's the Mickey Mouse Junkanoo sculpture. I'm sure you can hear them starting to play behind me. I feel like every time we come here they start playing. Damage was done. One thing to consider with your purchases at Lookout Quay, I keep getting the name wrong, doesn't matter, is that you have to pay a tax. There is a 10% VAT, which is essentially sales tax if you're not from the UK and the words VAT don't make sense to you. So there is a sales tax, 10%, so something to consider. Add that to all of your prices. We found the main barbecue place. This is true barbecue. There's all these seating huts around as well. I give up trying to control this mop. One thing that I had heard about, read about, seen, because I had watched quite a bit of stuff about here because I hadn't intended to come here very soon, so I didn't need to like not spoil it for myself. And one thing I had heard about and read about and seen was flies around the food. Now, we didn't have any. I'd seen videos of people literally having to like take bites and cover their plates up again. I don't know if that's a summer thing. I might have to read up about it a little bit more. I know that they were taking some attempts to resolve the problem, but we didn't have that problem at all. We have reached the other end of the beach here at Lookout Quay. So this is down at the other end of the family beach. Behind us is also the nature walk, which we are going to have a look and see how far that goes. If it goes too far, we're going to turn around and go back. We may not have left enough time. That looks like you can walk down the beach. There are plenty of people walking down the beach, so we'll walk this way for a little bit. Something I think is nice is the beach here is a lot more open for you to just walk down. At Castaway, once you hit a certain point, they block it off, and if you go over the point that they block off, they will chase you on jet skis down the beach to make sure to get you back to the allowed areas of the island. Whereas this, when we think about it, we are realistically just on a beach on a bigger Bohemian island, and you can just walk down it. You can see the village behind us there, but otherwise it's a really long open beach. And if you don't care about chairs and umbrellas, you want a nice beach experience, you can definitely get it here. We have reached the end of the beach, all the way down to the end. It's very beautiful down here, the way the waves crash along the rocks. You can film the Little Mermaid here. There's the lighthouse up on the rocks up there, so if you take the nature trail, that's where you'll end up. That should give you an idea of how long the beach is and how far away from the civilization, in inverted commas, of the village and all of the facilities that you can get from. You really can feel quite secluded here. Like, it's quieter down here than the adults Serenity Bay area, so if you don't care about getting a chair and a umbrella and bar service, if you want this kind of I'm alone on the beach, I'm just gonna lie here forever kind of vibe, you know, you can get it here, and it's very nice. And then away from the beach there is this nature trail we've just found. It does come off at the very end of the beach as well, so, and these rocks are very pretty, the layers in them are great. It's interesting. It's kind of funny because obviously Castaway Quay has the theme of being on a deserted castaway island, and it's very intensely themed, and I'll get into my thoughts about all of this a bit later. But at the same time, the beaches are very contained and are nearly always busy. You can't really find a deserted beach on Castaway. Here is more of a celebration of Bohemian culture, but also you can find a completely deserted beach. So that in itself is kind of cool. We have found the path to the lighthouse, and we can't come to Lighthouse Point without seeing the lighthouse. And welcome to the lighthouse. There is a sign to tell you all about the lighthouse. It explains that it was built in 1901. All that exists today of the original lighthouse are the ruins of its structures, but it continues to operate in the form of the revolving light beacon, which is powered by solar energy, which is that one right there. There is a little path here, but it does warn you that if you carry on beyond here, you're basically not on Disney property anymore. So if you want to walk along there, at your own risk is basically what Disney's saying. Otherwise, the views are phenomenal. Along the nature trail, there are the signs that tell you all about the various wildlife that you can see on the island, such as the curly-tailed lizard. And then you do have those critters that we saw as we got onto the island. So it looks like little characters created by Disney to help tell you all about the island. So this is a curly-tailed lizard. But that's all the information you need about them right there. Again, I don't want to get too deep into my thoughts about it just yet, because I'll do that in the wrap up later. Plus I am planning a review / comparison of Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point, still not going to say it right, and Castaway Key, to really compare the two and give my opinion about it. So make sure you're subscribed and all that stuff to see that. But I will say, in an era of cruise lines massively overdeveloping their private islands, and I always use Coco Key, the Royal Caribbean island, as the example, because that place is a concrete jungle. It is, every inch of it is paved. It's a theme park, a water park, slides galore, all of that kind of stuff. And if that's what you want, it's there for you. But I do think Disney has done a good job of holding back on overdeveloping what they have here. Could it do with some more development? Probably. But could you overdevelop it? Definitely. And I think if they're going to do this slow and steady, I think that's the way that I prefer. I missed this earlier because of the Junkanoo being really loud, but here you have Treasures of Eleuthera, and here you can find local stuff to buy. Local artists and traders and artisans will come and sell their wares here, and you can buy local Bahamian produce. I need to double check, because based upon what I just overheard, they do take ship cards and bands, whereas in Castaway you have to use cash. So I'll find out, put it on the screen. There you are. And now we begin the walk back. Nice view though for the walk back. It's definitely warmed up though since we walked from the ship. So again, this in summer, like height of summer, it would be baking, I imagine. But right now, the wind is just enough that it's kind of nice. The Carnival Magic is still floating on over there. The water is so clear. You can see all the way down. It's time to get back on the ship. 11. If you couldn't tell from the music, Pirate Night has begun. We are going up to the top deck to watch us sail away. See you later, Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. Didn't expect to be here, but you were good. While we were waiting to leave, Captain Andy came up on the intercom and said to me personally, he came over the intercom and said we have 170 miles to go to Castaway, so a very slow 11-ish knots, which is very slow compared to what we've been doing over the last few days. There's no show tonight, which I kind of like about the 7-night sailings, that there's some nights where you don't have a show to go to, because it just means that you get the evening a little bit more to do other things. They were supposed to be showing Mufasa, the new Lion King movie, in the theatre anyway, but apparently that's not happening now due to technical difficulties. Not sure what that is, so that's not happening. Yeah, I like nights without a show because you get to spend more time outside, watch the sunset, which is happening behind me right now, and it just feels the night has a much more relaxed feel. Whereas if you do the 3-night cruises, especially, even the 4-night cruises, you know, 3 or 4 nights you have a show, so you just show, dinner, show, dinner, show, dinner. It gets a bit overwhelming. Off in the distance you can see the Carnival Magic has also left its port just down the coast, so probably chasing us up through the Bahamas for the night. And this is the other side of Lookout Key, so there is where we were today, so that's the public beaches and stuff. It would be nice if you could see the ship from the main beaches, but who knows how much more they have to develop, so what might happen there in the future. We are back in Avengers tonight for Pirate Night. No show in here tonight because it's Pirate Night, but we get this awesome Marvel art instead. This is actually our 3rd time in here this cruise, because we were here yesterday when I didn't vlog. I didn't film any of my dinner food, because if you've watched any of my vlog series before, literally any cruise vlog, when there's Pirate Night, I have exactly the same meal, which is the crab cake, the jerk chicken and the banana cake, and it's the only thing I'll eat on that menu. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like that menu. It's the most boring menu of the lot, so there was no point vlogging it because you've seen it before many times. It is Pirate Night. We're waiting for the show. It's about 9:30 now and the show's at 10:15. We've come out onto the deck 4 promenade to have a look, and we are just crawling along.
Close to Florida, unfortunately.
Yeah. We don't have very far to go to Castaway Key, and they did say we would be slowly moving overnight. Since it is Pirate Night, there's lots of character meet and greets going on, all in pirate costumes. I'm loving the chipmunks. We have come back to the room to a sea creature of some kind. Not the Dove chocolate that we're used to tonight, but probably still won't eat it. Also, our gratuities have been delivered to put in the little envelopes. Don't forget, if you want, you can put some more cash in, or you can go down to guest services to add an additional automatic gratuity, but we just put extra cash in the envelopes because it's easier that way.
I introduce you all to the reason we're all here. She's been given a hell of a rejoicing, running a ride on auction. She's like me. She's not like me. She's Captain
Take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
on the rock and roll all night. Rock and roll, yeah.
That's what I'm a jackal.
Alright,
I am completely exhausted. We somehow managed to walk 12 kilometres today, which...
I think I walked less.
Yeah, maybe, but probably still 10.
I've got 9.
Okay. I managed to walk 12 kilometres today, which is nuts, really, when you think that we're supposed to be on holiday, and that would be, I'd consider that a good amount of walking to do on a day that I'm trying to be active. I'm going to try not to give my complete opinion about Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. Do you like the new quarter-zip? Because I am going to do review / comparison video with Castaway, because I have suddenly got the opportunity to go to them back to back, day in one, day in the other, and I had no plans to go to Lookout anytime soon, so suddenly there is this opportunity to do a comparison review. Where should you go if you could only go to one? What do I like about each of them? Without being too cryptic, I would say it managed to meet, exceed, and not exceed my expectations all at the same time in all different areas of the island. What I am happy about is that there is somewhere new to go on these ships for Bahamas-based cruises. I think apart from the Treasure, which is on the standard 7 Eastern-Western rotation, probably forever, until something comes along and takes it over, like it took over from the Fantasy, and the Fantasy from the Magic before it. Every other ship has the chance to go. I know the Wish has sailings that are going to Lookout. The Fantasy does, the Dream does, the Magic does. Like, you can pretty much go on any ship and go there. And I like that there's lots of opportunity to go. I like that it's somewhere that is not Nassau and somewhere else in the Bahamas that hopefully over time is further developed and there's more, more put there. What I will say though is that that beach is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And although there were cutbacks on what was originally planned as to what was actually built at Lookout, what that means then is that there is a whole section of beach that was supposed to be developed with the cabanas and everything that now is not. And if anything, I think that's actually an improvement, because you have this opportunity to go and sit on a basically deserted beach with palm trees behind you, the bluest sea you've ever seen, and it's something really special. And I think that there's a benefit there to it not being as developed as it was originally intended to be. But I will save the rest of my opinion because I need to make you watch something else somehow, and it's by withholding information and shoving it into another video. So I will withhold my full opinion until I do my review comparison video, so you know how it goes with YouTubers. Subscribe, bell notifications, like the video if you have enjoyed it. If you haven't enjoyed it, no refunds. And I will see you in one more of this series. We are in Castaway tomorrow, so there will be a vlog for that. That will be the end of this series. And then it's back home. But I will see you next week for that. Tomorrow for us, next week for you. But whenever you choose to watch again, I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye.